So we will talk about Jesse Lingard very shortly. Michael Brown alongside you though. Michael, in terms of the Manchester United starting lineup, this looks much more like Premier League strength Manchester United, even including Raphael Varane just 10 days after the World Cup final.
Well, that's a big plus in it, the central defence having the experience of Varane, what he can bring. Ambasaki obviously keeps his place in at full back, how can he do? But Casemiro back to the middle of the pitch with Eriksen and Fernandes. Notably for me, that's a really solid midfield three. Kelly, Martial, Anthony and Rashford at the top of that. So yeah, really strong Manchester United side. It could be a difficult night for this Forest team.
Yeah, and terrible conditions tonight, isn't it?
It is very... Honestly, Kelly, I can't tell you. I got out of the car, thought I'd just park a little bit further away. Big mistake, but luckily I had a brolly to just sort me out. Wally and the volley, you know, as it was walking in there, and it was sweat on. We weren't going to make it on air, but we got there and all good. And now it's just settled slightly. A little bit of rain still coming down, but obviously this pitch being so good, we'll take it, and it's filling up nicely.
Yeah, filling up nicely, and the fans looking forward to getting back to seeing Manchester United in Premier League action this evening. The last time Man United played Forest in the Premier League. Any thoughts, Michael?
Oh, you're testing me now. It's obviously a long, long time ago. That's for sure.
February 1999. You were definitely born. Definitely born. 8-1 was the final score.
8-1?
Yes.
I've just got given that. I'm cheating. I've got the fingers up next to me saying 8.
And
I was
also,
going to take it as well.
the significance of that, I'm guessing it's Maz who's giving you the information there. It's why I didn't ask Maz, because I knew she'd know. Because the player who got 4 goals in that game, Maz, was...
Oh no, now I don't know that one, Kelly.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Do you know what? I thought I'm not going to ask you because you'll already know, but you've raised the stakes for the competition. No more competition now. Just talking about tonight's game. So Manchester United, we're going to talk lots more about them throughout the evening because there's lots to discuss there. But Maz, it's just one defeat in 13 in all competition that goes back to the start of October. Now, having had players who've had World Cup campaigns with varying levels of success, it's going to be really important that they can pick up where they left off.
Absolutely. Think about the Sancho Martinez, obviously, hopefully somewhere still
celebrating, isn't it?
Said, didn't he, a couple of days ago, that whatever happens, Martinez got to remember that the program about Cody Gakpo signing for Liverpool in the last 24 hours. We know that Manchester United are in the market for a striker. They were heavily linked with the Dutch international. He's also been talking to Erik ten Hag about the importance of Marcus Rashford. He scored a brilliant solo goal in the League Cup against Burnley last week. Erik ten Hag saying he thinks that Marcus Rashford can score 20 Premier League goals a season, but also as well, that's a big test for him as well tonight, because as we said in January, if they look to strengthen, that's certainly an area that we know that ten Hag is looking to do so.
Michael, what do you think of that Lisandro Martinez situation? The fact that he's won the World Cup, so fair enough he wants to celebrate it. But celebrating it now, 10 days later, and still off with his Argentina team, or his Argentina teammates?
I'm just thinking, where would you be, Kelly?
I nearly got a plane from Doha to Buenos Aires myself.
Oh, honestly, it's brilliant though. Do you know what it is as well? I've seen lots of the players come away from this tournament with disappointment, just needed a little bit of a break, get their head round the disappointment of not going through to the later stages, some England players notably, and you understand that, so they just needed a little break from that football day to day, and I think they'll really benefit from it. So for this one game, we understand that's what it's going to be. We'll be back soon. It'll be a real high, and when this team and the aura he's going to respect from his teammates, from other people, I just think it's a really, really positive point. So I don't think we need to look at the negatives of him not being here today. Let's understand that he'll need a few days rehydrating, that's for sure, and coming back in a strong way. So yeah, just mentally, just recover, have that break,
and find themselves in 5th place going into this round of matches. They're still obviously very much in the race for the top 4, given that they've got 2 games fewer than Tottenham ahead of kick-off tonight. But when, as Maz said, you look at what's happened in the transfer market, it looked like they were in for Cody Gakpo. That looking like it's not going to happen. There's a bit of chat about who they might be bringing in, but obviously the uncertainty over the ownership and what they want to do. It feels like home form, which has been really good for Manchester United, particularly just before the break, is going to be crucial if they are going to push for Champions League football.
I do think that. I think it's one place that you can obviously get huge support in and around. It felt like he could come and win here, and all of a sudden with the run they've had, I think that uncertainty over Cristiano Ronaldo was that big pull, whether it was right or whether it was wrong. It was broke in regards to the manager and the player, so something had to give there, and we'll soon see how that continues. But I still think with Manchester United and certain targets, they're still going to miss out on certain ones because they're just not at that level yet, and they're going to have to be patient. We understand the level of Manchester United are as a football club. They maybe have to pay a little bit more or wait for certain picks at this moment in time. Clubs are slightly ahead of them. But I think they've got a really good run of fixtures coming, Kelly, that they can get some good results before that Manchester Derby, which is middle of January, which is going to be a real testing point.
There will come a time when we stop talking about Cristiano Ronaldo and his at Manchester United. I mean, he only left a few weeks ago, and I just wonder what you make of that situation, given that it happened in the middle of a World Cup. Was that kind of the best case scenario? That it feels separate from this season.
I've not seen the removal trucks opposite to my house yet. I mean,
with your neighbour.
Yeah, what that's going to be like, because it happened. We had that time to reflect, time to all look at different international games. And wonderful World Cup. It seems to have gone away, but this is the first day in there. You're coming back to Old Trafford, the Premier League on, get them results. So the Ronaldo situation does quite enough.
Waiting for the removal men to turn up outside Cristiano Ronaldo's house. But Manchester United, in the meantime, carry on without him, pushing for top four, pushing for Champions League finish. And we can hear from Erik ten Hag. He's well aware of the pressure when it comes to fighting for that top four place.
We are aware the competition is tough, but I think it counts for all the 7-8 clubs who are fighting for the top four. The one who follow the Premier League is great because they will be excited there. You have to really battle for every duel to get your points. And what I'm looking at the process, how we're performing, and of course we have to get the results as well. But if the process is right, when we get the right progress, and I think we have a good opportunity and we have a good chance to get into the top four. I accept it how it is, but I think also for the manager of Chelsea, from Newcastle United, all those clubs invest a lot in their squad, so there will be, for every manager, is a big pressure to get into the Champions League. That's clear. They want to be in the top four. They want to fight for trophies. That's our way.
Manchester United, of course, they're still in the EFL Cup with their victory over Burnley. Nottingham Forest also with a win just before Christmas. They got a 4-1 victory against Blackburn. But there's a danger of reading too much into those victories. But I just wonder, Michael, in terms of the way both their seasons have been panning out, Manchester United and Nottingham Forest, if that win was maybe more significant for Forest heading back into Premier League action.
Well, I just think, this slow start that Forest had, you've never seen a recruitment like it, have you? So many players coming in. We kept thinking, really, another one at the level that they were spending? It was a shock for everybody. Obviously, Steve Cooper wanted to try and find a balanced style, a setup. But ultimately, I think when you've got too much of choice, when you're not getting results, you look to the bench, you'll change it, and the next week you've got somebody else, and he couldn't really sort of find that settled situation. It took time. Obviously, a good manager, done really well last year, but I think the pressure started to mount a little bit when they've got these performances. I think the window of the World Cup come at the wrong time for them. So, yeah, they'll all be looking to get back on track. I was at Everton and Wolves yesterday, Kelly, and it was a really scrappy game, lots of mistakes. Almost felt like a sort of first game of the season. Feel fine in the feet, and we might see this at several games into the Premier League as we're coming back.
Yeah, players just not quite being at that sort of Premier League level. As we head into the Christmas period, going into really for Nottingham Forest. Back at his former club, it's been a bit of a checkered journey for him, and he's talked about not really understanding why he didn't have a place at Manchester United. Sometimes you get a performance out of a player when they feel like they have a point to prove.
Well, that's exactly what he's in the team for. And do you know when he went to Nottingham Forest and Manchester United were talking about giving him a new contract, being part of it, wanted to go and his stage, his ability. Why is I wasn't sure, obviously, the signings that they were going to make and the strength that they were going to obviously continue with bringing people in, and obviously that's what he believed in when he did it. But a short-term contract, was it to play every game, was it to get into a World Cup slot, and then he wasn't playing even in this Forest team. So it's been a really mixture of emotions for Jesse Lingard, and this now is the start, obviously, coming back into the Premier League, into 2023 of all games. This will be the one he'll want to do well. So we'll soon see, but you won't be surprised if he gets himself a goal tonight.
Old Trafford Forest this evening for Manchester United against Nottingham Forest. Chelsea against Bournemouth coming to a close. That one was a fun very shortly. Already in the Championship this evening, one game has already finished. Reading and Swansea started the day only separated by goal difference in the middle of the table. Andy Stevenson has been at this one for us. Hi, Andy.
Evening, Kelly. Yes, Reading have beaten Swansea 2-1 to move up to 8th in the Championship, but they were hanging on in the end. It was Andy Carroll who gave Reading the lead. It's the third goal of his keeper, Stephen Bender, who thought he was fouled, by the way, but the ball only went as far as Carroll, and he swept it home from just inside the area. On the half-hour mark, Yaku Mete skied a penalty over the bar for Reading after Carroll had been brought down off the ball by Jay Fulton. Then early in the second half, a deflected Tom Ince effort crept inside the post to make it 2-0, but Swansea wouldn't lie down, and when a Joel Pirro header came back off the post, substitute Liam Cullen reacted quickest to tap it in. That resulted in an absolutely hair-and-scaring finish. Bender was sent up for a corner in the final minute by Swansea, but they couldn't find an equaliser, and it's now 8 matches without a win for the Welsh side. Great contest, Kelly. Reading 2, Swansea 1.
Andy, thank you very much for that. Burnley have been in excellent form so far this season. They're top of the league. They host Birmingham this evening. They stretch their advantage, and Lee Blakeman is watching. Hi, Lee.
Hello, Kelly. Yeah, this Burnley's first game since last week's League Cup defeat at Old Trafford, and to highlight how consistent they've been, that brought to an end a run of 4 straight wins and was only their second defeat in any competition since August the 12th. They haven't lost here since their final game in the Premier League against Newcastle back in May, but they'll have their work cut out tonight in what are awful, miserable, wet and windy conditions at Turf Moor. They're up against the Birmingham side, who've lost just one of their last 7, and John Eustace knows a win tonight for his Blues team will see them move from 15th all the way up to the Championship's playoff places.
Lee, thank you very much for that. Very much enjoying hearing about these miserable conditions and games up and down the country today. That's what Christmas football is all about. Elsewhere, Dean Smith has been sacked as manager of Championship side Norwich after 13 months in charge. Norwich lost 2-1 at Luton yesterday. They're 5th in the Championship table. There was one game in League One earlier today. Bolton and Derby finished goalless. Same scoreline in League Two in the match between Leyton Orient and Stevenage. England have announced their schedule for the tour of Bangladesh in March. They'll play 3 one-day internationals and 3 T20s. It'll be their first trip there since 2016. In the Boxing Day test in Melbourne, Australia go into the 3rd day, leading South Africa by 197. David Warner hit an undefeated 200 for retiring with cramp as the finished the second day on 386 for 3. Michael Brown is still with us. He'll be bringing us updates from the game between Manchester United and Nottingham Forest. Michael, I wanted to ask you about Dean Smith, though. It hasn't come as a huge surprise that he and Norwich have parted company. What do you think's gone wrong for him?
Well, you look at the recent form, Kelly, won just 3 of the last 13 Championship games. I think that tells you everything. But I did the first game of the season at Norwich against Wigan Athletic, and I was looking and thinking, there was a real negative vibe about the manager, and I never really felt confident that it was going to work. And after so long back at the supporters, and then you go and lose to Luton, I thought it was inevitable then when you've criticised the fans that they're going to demand that there's going to be a change. But I just felt that it was a real negative situation. When you go into a job when it looks almost inevitable that you're going to get relegated, then it's so tough when you do that earlier rather than wait a little bit longer before that sort of lift into a new team. And I'm a bit I don't know, I feel sorry really, because I feel he's a really good footballer over time, with the understanding that the supporters could have had. I think he would have brought success, and you're still looking in the top six.
Yeah, but as you say, when that relationship's down between manager and fans, it is a long way back for anyone, and Dean Smith will not be making that journey at Norwich City. And so, Michael, is Old Trafford, Manchester United and Nottingham Forest kick off at 8 o'clock. It was a 5:30 kick-off at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea lead Bournemouth by 2-0, and they are deep into stop time. Mark Scott.
Yes, Kelly. That's right, we've got 2 of the 5 additional minutes left to play. Bournemouth, who were generally poor throughout, have rallied late on. They're still trailing by 2-0, but they have at least troubled Chelsea. James Anthony with a free kick from 20 yards out that has just been fisted over the top of the crossbar by Kepa after he made a save from another substitute, Brian Christie, who went towards the near post with a low effort. But Chelsea should have been out of sight before that. 2-0 up after 24 minutes of the game, 2 goals in 8 minutes. The first tapped in by Kai Havertz from Raheem Sterling. Kepa's goal, and then Mason Mount saves to keep out Reece James and Sterling just before the break, and another in the second half to block from Mason Mount, while Koulibaly sent a free header wide when he should have scored. Chelsea, remember, came into this having lost all of their last 3 without an opportunity to reset. Has been the Reece James who was making hit in the second half with what looked like a recurrence of that one.
Mark, thank you very much as they're playing out the last few seconds of that match at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Bournemouth, as Chelsea look to maintain regain some kind of form. Bournemouth watched on by one of their new owners, although whether or not he has very much to do with it, when we've heard the comments from the owner earlier, will remain to be seen. But he's seen his side fall to a 2-0 defeat, Mark.
Yeah, that's right. The full-time whistle has now gone. Graham Potter shaking hands with Gary O'Neill. This was his first as the permanent Bournemouth coach. You mentioned it, that ownership development as well down on the south coast. They have been beaten pretty soundly overall by Chelsea today, who needed that victory, didn't they? They'd lost ground in the Champions League places, and there were some rumours swirling about discontent around Graham Potter, but he put a brave face on it in his programme notes today. He said he was looking forward to the challenge of arresting that decline in results that they had suffered, and they were on it from the word go. James, actually, who, as I mentioned, had to go off early in the second half through injury, was a real conduit for them in the first period. Raheem Sterling was heavily involved as well. Just looked hungry, Kelly. They looked up for it. They looked like a team that had been well served by that break due to the World Cup, whereas Bournemouth really didn't lay a glove on them. They looked very, very, very leggy, very weary, and it was only really late on in the game that they started to create some chances that caused Chelsea a few moments of discomfort. But overall, job well done by Chelsea, a 2-0 victory, and it should really have been more comfortable. I think Graham Potter will be very happy and probably feeling pretty relieved as well after that run of form coming into this.
Mark, thank you very much. And as I say, Bournemouth watched on by Michael B. Jordan, a part owner of Bournemouth after Bill Foley's takeover. Bill Foley, though, has been talking about how much he likes to work on his own, that if you're part of his team, you don't really get too much of a say. We'll talk lots more about that after 8 o'clock here on 5 Live Sport. Michael Brown is going to stick with us and will also be joined by other guests, including former West Ham midfielder Nigeria Kokas and the Villa midfielder Rachel Corsie, and the Telegraph's Luke Edwards. That's all to come from 8 o'clock. But now, over the next 30 minutes, Guillaume Balaguer is going to take a look at how Lionel Messi became one of the world's greatest players. He is from teammates and opponent national trophy, right up until just 10 days ago, of course, out of the inevitable comparisons with Diego Maradona. You'll hear from Cesc Fabregas, Pablo Zabaleta, Rio Ferdinand, Gary Lineker, and many, many more on the rise of one of football's greatest ever. Enjoy it, and I'll see you after the news at 8.
Manchester United, David De Gea, طاهر مالاسيا، لوك شو، رافائيل فاران.
And I like to tackle, but then I was seeing that he was coming with the speed was not normal. He was coming very, very fast at me, and I was already shocked because I remember falling on the floor. I lost stability, and he scored the goal. So from that moment, I said, "Hold on a second, we need to take this boy very, very seriously." Piqué and Fabregas were from Catalonia. Barcelona is the biggest club in the region, and the academy always picked up the best Catalonian talent. For Messi to have come all the way from Argentina at such a young age was just proof of his enormous potential, as Fabregas explains. Before, it was not that normal to see players at that age coming from so far. We were all from the area, Barcelona. If you were very good, they would take you from somewhere in Spain. So of course, seeing someone coming from so far away at such a young age, we all thought, wow, this boy must be something really special. But despite that potential, the move to Spain wasn't all that smooth for Lionel. His family still had connections in Rosario, and his sister was struggling to adapt. It was time to decide, how seriously did Messi want to be at Barcelona? 6 months after the move, the family sat down together, and Leo was adamant. He wanted to stay in Spain and become a professional footballer.
Manchester United De Gea, Tyler Malaysia, Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Christian Eriksen, Casemiro, Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Anthony Martial, Nottingham, Wayne Hennessy, Serge Ariel, João Oral, Wele Boli, Renan Lodi, Ryan Yatis, Remo Freyler, Oril Mangala, Brennan Johnson, Theo Awani, Jesse Lingard. Ja, also wir leben jetzt nur 23 Minuten. Eriksson. Merry Christmas. Eriksson, De Gea. The great goals. Wayne Rooney against Manchester City. Manchester United. Trainer Erik ten Hag. Som Highton. Harry Maguire. Rice Blends. Brandon Williams. Fred. Tony van Dijk. Anthony Ilanga. Zidane Iqbal. Alejandro Garnacho. Steve Cooper. Jordan Smith. Scott McKenna. Nico Williams. Steve Cook. Jack Colback. Lewis O'Brien. Harry Opolo.